Despite the fact that I'm really aware that flu can be very dangerous, I didn't apply that to my home life, so I stopped being a social work practitioner, became a manager, and I stopped having flu jabs. I'm a mother of 4, and probably the most lively and robust of my children is called Torrin, and he got flu. Just before Christmas in 2017, some of my family were poorly, and I felt a bit rubbish. But my son, my lively, bouncy, very full-on 17-year-old, over a period of 3 days, deteriorated from looking a bit washed out to being on life support in Dorchester Hospital with flu, got double pneumonia, and his lungs collapsed. When they told us that they were moving him into intensive care, they told us that we had to be aware that he may not survive, and he spent 12 days on life support, and we were told on 4 occasions on those 12 days that we might lose Torrin to flu, to something that I'd had a vaccination for every year when I was a social worker, but that I didn't think about with my own family. It's just inconceivable. It's very hard to, looking back, because it was just the most incredibly awful experience. He woke up on New Year's Day 2018, so what an amazing day, the most incredible experience. But it was a long haul, and I guess we did sort of anticipate that, but we hadn't thought about anything but him sort of just living. So they warned us that it can take up to 18 months to get your body back to its full resilience. So he left hospital. He couldn't walk more than a few steps. He couldn't eat anything other than purified food. He'd lost continence, and he'd lost his sleep-wake routine, so he didn't understand nighttime or daytime. So it took a long time to get him back into that. And you can imagine the impact that had on the family as we tried to return. We were delighted. We were so happy. It was just wonderful to have him home. But it was a really long road. And having to monitor for the first 6 months at least everything that we did and everything we asked of him to make sure that he didn't exert himself. When he first came round, he had so many seizures as a result of the assault on his body, of how ill he is, that they thought about putting him back on life support because it was so dangerous. So it's not, he didn't wake up and everything was fine. He woke up and it was then a really big battle to get back to health. And of course that battle involves so many people, because he's got 2 sisters, he's got a brother, and all of my family, their attention was solely focused on us, all of his friends. We were the centre of this focus. And this year we've had our flu jabs, and Torrin's had his flu jab. It's not easy because he's autistic and he doesn't like the sensation of being touched if it's and without permission. So having an injection wasn't something that he enjoyed, but we did it. It was very hard walking into the doctor's surgery to book it, because I suddenly found myself crying. And when we went to have it done, my husband and I were both really upset. It just brought everything flooding back. Please don't be like me. When I look back, I feel really stupid, because as a social worker I understood the risks and I took it really seriously, and I made sure I had a flu jab. And as a mother for my own children, somehow I didn't do that. And it's one of the things that I'll live with forever. 2 or 3 minutes and it was sorted, and that's all it takes to keep your child safe.